Based on the type of knowledge to be discovered, data mining can be generally divided into unsupervised learning and supervised learning. Unsupervised learning and supervised learning. OK， 非监督学习和监督学习。Unsupervised, UNSUPERVISED, and supervised, SUPERVISED. The former is also known as cluster, while the latter is also known as classification. Cluster is concerned with the division of the data into groups based on their 答案是 similarities. Each group is also called a cluster. In each group, objects in the same cluster are similar between themselves. In contrast, objects in different clusters are dissimilar. This approach has the advantages of uncovering unanticipated, 非预测的 unanticipated, unanticipated, correlations or patterns, and there is no need to have OK， 答案是 assumption 假设假定 assumption ASSUMPTIONS assumption ASSUMPTIONS assumption in advance. Popular cluster popular cluster algorithm ALGORITHMS 演算法。Popular clustering algorithms include K-means and hierarchical 阶层的 hierarchical 答案是 hierarchical clustering. Classification is used to categorize a data item into one of the class defined in advance. The classification can be used both to understand existing data and to predict how new item will behave. Famous classification algorithms include decision tree and neural networks. Both clustering and classification are useful techniques, but classification need to be defined classes in advance. Thus, there is a problem to analyze users' preference with classification. This is due to the fact that users need to be classified based on particular human factor instead of their preference. If the human factor was not properly selected, the accuracy of the result,准确性 the accuracy ACCURACY, the accuracy of the result may be affected. To this end, cluster was chosen because it could produce group of sharing common preference 共同的 common. By doing so, the problem of identifying users' preference of interface feature in the interactive multimedia learning system can also be sorted out by clustering. Among a range of clustering techniques, the K-mean algorithm widely used in previous research was employed in this study to produce a group of users that share similarity, and then corresponding 对应的 corresponding, then the corresponding human factor for each group will identify. In summary, 总结 summary, SUNNARY, summary, this study investigates how human factor affect the use of interactive multimedia system by using a data mining approach. 好，最后两段我念一遍。Based on the types of knowledge to be discovered, data mining can be generally divided into unsupervised learning and supervised learning. The former is also known as clustering, while the latter is also known as classification. Clustering is concerned with the division of data into groups based on their similarity. Each group is also called a cluster. In each group, objects in the same cluster are similar between themselves. In contrast, objects in different clusters are dissimilar. This approach has the advantage of uncovering unanticipated correlation or pattern, and there is no need to have assumptions in advance. Popular cluster algorithms include k-mean and hierarchical clustering. Classification is used to categorize a data item into one of the classes defined in advance. The classification can be used both to understand existing data and to predict how new items will behave. Famous classification algorithms include decision tree and neural network. Both clustering and classification are useful techniques, but classification needs to define classes in advance. Thus, there is a problem to analyze user preference with classification. This is due to the fact that the user needs to be classified based on particular human factor instead of their preference. If human factor was not properly selected, the accuracy of the result may be affected. To this end, cluster was chosen because it could produce groups of sharing common preferences. By doing so, the problem of identifying the user preference of interface feature in the interactive multimedia learning system can also be sorted out by clustering. Among a range of clustering techniques, the k-mean algorithm widely used in previous research was employed in this study to produce a group of users that share similarity, and then the corresponding human factor for each group will identify. In summary, this study investigates how human factors affect the use of interactive multimedia learning system by using a data mining approach.